On this episode of Restoring Ostuni, the Post-it notes are up and ready to review with my Contractor and Geometra. Will these little colorful pieces of paper be the way we finally agree on what this house will become and we can get the construction going? Have you ever dreamt of turning your back on corporate America so you can move your family to Italy and then restore a centuries-old stone house in a dazzling medieval city? Well, I turned that dream into reality. My name is Jody, and this is Restoring Ostuni. Andiamo. We are back in Ostuni, and Hamilton and I spent a long day taping where main furniture will be going and putting up all the post-it notes. And as you can see, Hamilton is exhausted. While the boss is sleeping, I sketched out the bathrooms and laundry room to ensure no confusion in what I want. Wish me luck for the big meeting tomorrow. Before meeting with the team, I met with Federica, my property finder from Gente de Mare, and yes, I highly recommend you use them, but I wanted to make sure that I had a second set of eyes that would look at what I was trying to do and the vision for it. And so I asked her to come over, and as usual, she was phenomenal, and I just really trust her judgment and taste. So I wanted to go through the whole house, and we did actually hit a problem. The terrace wall was getting really crowded. New door, old door, and stairs in between the two doors. I added this to my list of things to discuss with Pietro and Martino because it was going to get kind of busy, and I wanted to have a table down there too. And I was trying to figure out where it should go. And then Federica, as usual, says, well, that's what you pay Pietro for. So added it to my list, and Pietro can deal with it. Sadly, she had to leave because she had a client that showed up about a half hour early. Just for everybody to know, the Ostuni real estate market is really heating up. A lot of people want to have houses for the summer and, either to rent, most of the holiday houses. And so she was really busy, and so she had to leave. I'd hoped that she would be able to stay for a little while, but, she's busy, and I will take any amount of time with her that I can. One thing that she did tell me that kind of made me feel good is that if my house was on the market now, it would be significantly more expensive. She thought maybe high 2s, low 3s. So there's good news is that I did make a really good buy, and the house is phenomenal. And so that kind of made me happy. So if you are looking, Italy is just getting more and more expensive. So I highly recommend going as soon as if you're really interested in Puglia, especially. It's really, really getting a lot more expensive, which is, good for everybody. Anyway, Martino and Pietro came to the house, and I have to tell you, Pietro was cracking up about the Post-it notes. But you know what? Honestly, after he saw them, and yes, I am patting myself on the back when I say this, it really started some great conversation. And he was like, I'm really glad you put them up there because it really made it clear what I was looking for and what could be done. So there was a lot of conversation that went on, which is interesting since they don't speak English and I don't speak Italian, but it all worked out. They did come up with a few modifications to outlet placements, but all in all, it went really well. And my sketches for the bathroom and the laundry also helped in the discussion. And Pietro, who's actually going to be doing the plans, tried his hardest not to mock me in my little etch-a-sketch type of things. But, it is what it is. So we finally get over to the bidet of the issue. Legally, you have to have one bidet in a home. Now, honestly, I don't get bidets. My husband doesn't get bidets. My son doesn't get bidets. Nobody I know gets bidets. But guess what? Italians get bidets. So legally, you have to have at least one. So I was talking to the guys, and I said, I'll do a combo in one bathroom and then just have a regular toilet. And I thought, that should work. That would be fine. Well, guess what? Martino was absolutely horrified, and I think I offended the Italian love for the bidet. So sometimes you just have to let them take a win. Personally, I doubt there will ever be used because I can't imagine that some Italian's going to walk in my house as a guest and want to do number 2. But guess what? Now they can do number 2 in either bathroom. So number 2 in number 1 or number 2 bathroom. I'm going to have one of those little spray faucets, and that will cover it. And Martino is no longer offended by me and doesn't I just thought it was funny. I don't understand bidets. Maybe somebody can explain it to me. I will never use them. Never have, never will. But anyway, the bidet of the issue has been taken care of. I think, though, that Martino was so excited that he won on the whole bidet spray thing, as well as I decided to update some of the windows that were rotten, that he decided to be generous. And those are his words, because when we went out to look at the exterior that go to the terrace, he recommended that instead of doing the temporary stairs that would have been like awkwardly placed, he's like, why don't I just build stone stairs for you? I was like shocked. I'm like, oh my God, really? So we're going to have the real actual stone steps, which I am so incredibly excited about. First of all, they'll be permanent. Second of all, the temporary one, I was positive I was going to fall down. Let's not forget that I actually broke my foot standing still. I don't know how I did it. Nobody knows how I did it, but I've done it. I'm a klutz. So the thought of not having to use those temporary metal stairs where I could just see myself falling all the time and my animals falling, I'm not going to have that anymore. I'm going to have beautiful stone terrace with railings going up. Oh my gosh, I am just so excited. It's going to add so much usable space for the terrace. We can have a big table, and obviously we can also, I'm thinking of doing like a pergola or something there. I'm just so excited, and it was just, I was just happy. I can't not even tell you how happy I was. So at this point, it seemed like we had all agreed to the scope of work, and it was contract time. So that meant Pietro, hasta la vista, he left, and I went over to Martino's office, and we started getting the contract put together. So we did have to make some changes, and despite the fact that Martino was really generous, he overpromised, and then he looked at me and he said, I've got to add some money to this budget. Now, considering what I had added another door, I had added the 2 windows, and then he graciously, generously gave me the stone stairs. I had already mentally added money, but you don't tell guys that. So I pretended to think it over, and I said, okay, fine. But I mean, I had already figured it was going to end up at this number anyway, so wasn't really worried about it. And to be honest, what I was getting out of it made a lot of sense. So, the other thing that he did, because I think he felt so gracious, is he mentioned to me that he had an idea to fix the laundry room stairs from hell. If you've seen the pictures of them, it's very steep. That's why I stopped making it a bathroom, because I was afraid people were going to fall, and it was only me. And so he has some ideas to fix it. So again, that was a win for everybody. I thought, hey, we're doing good. So I also wanted to make sure that we outlined exactly what materials I was paying for versus Martino. And a couple other things that we decided to add. We're going to get a new boiler. He recommended getting 2, so I'll have one for my kitchen and laundry and one for the bathrooms. So I'll have plenty of hot water. He's also going to cover it in, so where they are sitting, it's kind of like just in the hallway, just sitting there staring. He said, no, I'm going to put a cover on it so you won't really see it, and then there'll just be a door. I'm like, great. So again, one of the things you can do in these houses is they want you to be more energy efficient. And so the boilers I was looking at were like energy class, either A or B. So I can actually get some tax advantages from it. Plus my bills will be down. Plus I will have hot water, which honestly is all I really care about. I want to have lots of hot water. And now I won't have those eyesores of those boilers sitting there. So we get the contract all done, and they give me an English copy of it, which was very nice of them. And that's where the drama begins. So I keep every copy of the contracts. I've mentioned this before. I also know them backwards and forwards. I could literally recite them in my sleep. And I noticed a couple of things that were missing, including repairing where the fireplace had been and my gas stove. Remember last episode when I showed you that little yellow sticky note and I put a red circle around it and I said, remember this, where the gas stove was? Yeah, well, here's the payoff for that. I noticed something was missing from the contract. My gas line. Gone. Completely gone. Now, let's not forget how adamant I've been about a gas stove and how many times I've been told it's no problem. Well, I guess today it became a problem. I mentioned this to Martino, and he told me, oh, it's too expensive. Electric was way better. Never, ever tell a woman what appliances should be in their kitchen. This is for all men to know. I told him I had always said that I wanted gas. But then Martino began explaining to me how expensive it was, like 6,000 euros more, and that once I had an electric stove, I would like it so much better. Dude, I have an electric stove right now, and I hate it. I had gas before, and I loved it. And for the last 10 years, I've been stuck with electric. Remember that yellow Post-it I pointed out? Well, kids, that is why you keep all copies of your estimates, because I just started pulling out each copy. And when I say I pulled out each copy, I mean every single one. All 5 iterations, and pointed to where gas was included. Okay, I won't keep you hanging. We agreed to what in the U.S. we would call a propane tank option. And I also got stairway lighting in both stairways and a couple of other extra things for all of this. Bottom line, when you're going to be doing renovation, and this is anywhere, know what your estimates do and do not back down when there's something you really want. Do not let people talk you into things because it's easier for them. I got my gas stove and I'm happy. Well, I'm getting my gas stove, which will make me happy. So, along with the gas stove, I also had an approved contract. And just like the U.S. hockey teams in the 1980 Olympics, do you believe in miracles? Yes! Now, for months, I have been sniveling and whining to y'all about getting started. And guess what? Martino is an overachiever, and he started the work the next day. I showed up the next morning to swap out some of my clothes and meet IKEA to measure for my kitchen. But guess what? All of my stuff was gone. Guess I'm not going to be swapping out clothes, and it's lucky I had enough of Hamilton's food because all of my stuff was gone, including my mattresses. I had a little bit of a panic attack for a minute, but then I talked to Martino, and he's like, yeah, I moved all your stuff out because his workers were about to get started. And guess what? Did they start? Within 15 minutes, my house started looking like a demolition zone. I have never loved chaos more. I was absolutely astonished at how much they got done, and his team loved my Post-it notes. So there you go. We did realize, though, that there was one more window that needed to be changed, and it's the window in my main bathroom. It has to shrink, and don't ask me why. It's something about the toilet, blah, 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 blah. But honestly, the only thing I cared about was the fact that because of shrinking that window, it was going to make my shower easier. So, you know what I mean? Not a big deal. And anyway, I think also there was no cost in it because I think after Gasgate, I think that Martino decided to be generous and not try to charge me for anything other than the new window. So I was really happy about that. But it is kind of scary that after nothing moving for months, my house was literally a disaster area with everything being pulled out. And it was an actual reality that we're going to actually go down this highway. And Martino has the pedal to the metal. And this renovation is not only started, it's going like gangbusters. So, next week on Restoring Ostuni, things are going to get a little dangerous. I discovered the Italian version of Home Depot, Leroy Merlin. And somehow I managed to pick the most expensive tile in that entire store. Ciao for now. Well, that's it for this episode of Restoring Ostuni. Thanks for joining me on this wild pulley adventure. The dust, the discoveries, and everything in between. If you're loving the journey, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend dreaming of their own Italian escape. Until next time, arrivederci.